pre-shot routine. Do you have one that works for you? Do you know the importance of not only the physical steps of doing your pre-shot routine, but also the mental components as well and how they can improve your game? Today, I'm going to share some tips on the pre-shot routine, the importance of it both mentally and physically, and I'm going to share some things from this awesome book that was written by sports psychologist Dr. Dean Hinitz called Bowling Psychology. Have you guys read this book? It's amazing, and I'm going to share a little bit on the pre-shot routine, which he dedicated an entire chapter to, and that's all coming up next. Stay tuned. Okay, so you probably have heard of the pre-shot routine. I'm sure that you do something before your shots, but are you consistent with it? Do you realize the importance both physically of what this is doing for your game, but also mentally? The mental component is so important. For me personally, and I've shared this before, I like to sit on the bench or stand behind the settee area and I have my grip sack and I toss it around a few times. And while I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about what my next shot is going to be, where I'm going to throw it, where it needs to be, if I need to move, if I need to change balls, what needs to happen on that next shot. And then when it's my turn, I take a deep breath. I wipe down my ball 3 times at least. I put some air in my hands. I might take another deep breath. And I visualize that ball path. I visualize where I need that ball to go. And I say the word either in my mind or sometimes out loud, trust. Trust my ball, trust myself. That's what I do. But in reading Dr. Hintz's book, I've learned some things that I think are really important and I want to share with you guys. The pre-shot routine helps to predict what's going to happen, helps our mind and our body to get in sync, and also for us to have control over our shot, especially when things are getting kind of chaotic around us. It helps us to focus. And he talks about how the pre-shot routine is designed to focus you, relax you, and help coordinate your movements together. Now, during competition, Dr. Hinitz talks about how there is the external environment around us, other bowlers, the score, noises, things that are happening in the bowling center, things like that. But there's also the internal component, which is really important. His whole book is called Bowling Psychology, and I really recommend it, especially if you struggle with mental game components of your bowling game. This is a really great resource. Okay, so throughout the book, he has stories, and I love stories. And this one that starts on page 39 and goes into page 40 is about Carolyn Dorn-Ballard, the pro bowler, the Hall of Famer. She's amazing. And it talks about her first TV win, her first title. And then it also goes on to share a little bit about what her pre-shot routine is and maybe how it's evolved over the years for her. And I just want to read a little bit. On page 40 of this book, Carolyn says, in her pre-shot routine, I don't watch my opponent. I always look down. I wipe my ball off at least 3 times. I stare at one focal point. I close my eyes and put myself somewhere else where it's easy. I've heard her in interviews and different things say that she likes to think about her daughter. That puts her in a happy, kind of relaxed state. I breathe and rarely look up before I get on the approach. I know the task at hand. There's no reason to look around. I just say, hit your target. I feel that if I hit my target, I have the best chance to have the best result. So Dr. Hinitz also talks about asking yourself 2 questions. This can really help to center you as well. And the first question is, am I present here? Our minds are automatically going to respond like either yes or no. And it helps us to get present, to get in the moment, to stay in the moment, not thinking about the future, what the score could be, or the past, the errant shot that we maybe just made in the last frame or 2. The other question is, what is called for here? Or what do I need to know? What do I need to know? Where does the ball have to play? What mark do I need to hit? Where's the break point? Things like that. The last thing that Dr. Hinitz talks about in this section is the 3 C's of a champion. Those 3 C's are consistency, confidence, and control. All very important, and these are things that you can keep in mind. So the next time you go bowling and you're thinking about your pre-shot routine, perhaps add in a mental component to that. Hit your mark. Follow through. Where's my focal point? Posture at the line. Things like that. Putting them in a positive place instead of don't fall off your shot, don't miss your mark. We don't want to be thinking in the negatives, guys. We want to be thinking in the positives, and that can really help to pay dividends on the lanes. When you're in practice, don't just go ahead and throw the ball. Always go through your pre-shot routine. Get your body and your mind set for that. So when the stressful shots or the stressful tournaments or games come up, you know what to do. Your mind knows what to do, and your body does as well. Share with me below your pre-shot routine, what works for you, maybe what hasn't worked for you in the past. I would love to hear from you guys. And as always, if you got something from this video, feel free to like the video and feel free to subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate you guys following along. Don't forget to hit the bell icon because that will notify you every time that I drop videos on bowling tips and coaching tips. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.